2 weeks. That's all it took for the next big thing in tactical shooters to go from a glitzy world premiere at the Game Awards to a skeletal crew and a LinkedIn graveyard. Highguard was supposed to be this triumphant return of the Respawn OGs, the geniuses who gave us Titanfall and Apex Legends. Instead, it's become a case study in how to speedrun to a studio closure. We're told to trust the talent, right? But when the talent is handcuffed by corporate trends and a desperate need to appeal to, quote, a modern audience that frankly doesn't exist, you get Highguard. Today, we're performing an autopsy on a game that died before it even lived. Why did it fail? Why were the devs laid off before the first patch was even cold? And why does the industry keep making the same woke mistakes, expecting different results? Let's talk about the reveal. The Game Awards in 2025. It's final slot, the one more thing position. And out comes Highguard. Oh, I get it. High, as in over, and guard, like watch. On paper, it sounds like a fever dream. Sci-fi soldiers on horseback casting spells while sliding like they're in Apex. But the internet's reaction wasn't, holy crap, I need this. It was, what is this mobile slop? The aesthetics are the definition of indistinct. It's got that sanitized, oversaturated look that screams market tested for global consumption. When you show me a guy in a tactical gear, riding a horse and shooting some magic rifle, my first thought is, oh, I've seen this on a YouTube ad for a gacha game. You already lost the battle, trust me. The middle of the ground gamer, the guys who grew up when games had an identity, can smell this corporate assembly line a mile away. The time of this launch was borderline suicidal. We are currently living in the hero shooter graveyard. Concord became $1 billion meme for a failing industry in just 48 hours. Hyenas got canceled before it even breathed, and yet Wildlight thought, yeah, let's go radio silent for weeks after our reveal and then drop a 3 versus 3 tactical shooter in January. Oh, that didn't work. Let's patch 5 versus 5 and see if by some miracle it brings people back. The market is bloated. People have their forever games already. You aren't just competing with Call of Duty anymore. You're competing with every hour of a gamer's life. And when your game looks like a generic version of Overwatch mixed with a fantasy novel that no one read, nobody is quitting their Apex grind to learn your new hero mechanics. It's a level of arrogance that needs to be studied. Now, let's get into the weeds here. Why does the mass market keep rejecting these titles? Well, because these games aren't being built for you. They are built for a modern audience, a mythical group of non-gamers that consultants promise will show up if you just make the characters safe enough, diverse enough, and inclusive enough. But the mass market has spoken, and the message is loud and clear. We are done. We're tired of the message being prioritized over mechanics. When you spend more time on representation than you do making sure the game doesn't look like an asset flip, you get a 3 versus 3 shooter that nobody asked for. I get it. The woke culture of over-sanitizing games was this thing that really took over from 2020 to like 2023. But it also sanitized the fun right out of the industry. We want grit, we want personality, we want escapism. We want games that feel like they were made by people in a basement, not in a boardroom. I don't want to feel included. I want to escape reality when I play video games. This is the part that really burns me. Studio head Chad Grenier told Polygon, and I quote, "Whether it gets 1,000 people or 100 million people, it doesn't matter. What matters most is that the game is loved." Chad, with all due respect, that is the absolute biggest nonsense I've ever heard. It matters to the most of the team who just got laid off whether or not it's successful. It matters to the level designers like Alex Grainer, who are now on LinkedIn looking for work because the quote love of a few thousand people couldn't pay the server costs. This is the ultimate corporate cope. They know the game tanked. They know the concurrent players are abysmal. So they pivot to this artistic integrity defense to hide the fact that they built a product that the market has utterly rejected. And the real tragedy here is these guys are part of the crew that made Titanfall. They know how to make a great game. But Highguard feels like the work of a team that was told to make a platform, not a game. They were chasing the daily midnight of monetization. Battle passes, skins, 5 versus 5 modes, added in a panic after week 1. If they had just made Titanfall 3 or even a spiritual successor that didn't try to be a hero, magic, horse, inclusive shooter, they'd be swimming in revenue instead of what they actually chased, which was the modern dragon. And the dragon turned around and ate the studio. This is a warning. If you don't respect the core gamer, the ones who have been here since Xbox OG, the 360 days, the PS3 days, you will end up exactly like Wildlight. Highguard is a failure, and it needs to be studied because it represents the end of an era. The era where you could just slap a live service tag on a generic shooter and print money. Those days are over. The modern audience isn't coming to save you. They're not gamers. To the devs who lost their jobs, it sucks, truly. But let this be a lesson to the suits running these studios. Stop listening to consultants. Stop chasing the woke mass market. It doesn't exist. Go back to making games for the people who actually buy them. Because right now, the mass market has checked out and the graveyard is getting full. Did you guys even download Highguard? Or did you see that first trailer and know exactly how this was going to end? Hit the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you're tired of this modern slop, stick around, as we talk about real games here. As always, thanks for joining me here at Star Flag Media Gaming. We will catch you in the next video. Peace.